Welcome back to another Short Legacy League where we have Sneak and Show versus Mono Red Painter. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Welcome to game 1 with Corey on the play keeping 6 and Ben keeping 7. So this is a very interesting matchup because the Painter player typically grinds out using the Painter and Grindstone to mill out the opponent. When you're playing against a Sneak and Show player, you have the opposite effect happening because you have Emrakul's in the main deck of Sneak and Show. You have to set up a line that exiles their graveyard at the end of the Grindstone with the Emrakul triggers on the stack. So you are able to actually beat Sneak and Show with Mono Red Painter, but it does, or Boros Painter, but it does require quite a bit of setup to do. While working on that, you also have to stave off their sneak attacks and their show and tells with their gigantic creatures at the same time. So Ben's in for a bit of a workout here to try and mill out Corey with Emrakul's in his deck. So, and with a sneak attack sitting in Corey's hand at the moment and 4 mana available to him next turn, that's going to be a pretty tough ask, I believe. So 3 mana coming down, and we've got a Fable the Mirror Breaker. Corey does have a Force of Will in hand if he wants to burn it here. It's an interesting play to say the least. He doesn't have any action going on in his hand at the moment. He does have the sneak attack. He does have a show and tell, but he did not have a creature to push through on the damage. So that's going to get Force of Will to go to the graveyard, and we'll see if Ben has anything else for us. It's Mox Opal. And that looks like it's going to be a pass back over to Corey here. All right, Corey drew something there. He drew a City of Traders. So he now has access to 5 mana this turn. So the sneak attack can come into play this turn if he wants it to. Still no creature to activate the sneak attack with. So see if he wants to hold that back for a turn or if he wants to show his hand now. So he's going to choose to go ahead and put the sneak attack into play. So Ben already knew what he was up to here, but now it's in his face with the sneak attack on the battlefield. Pass back over to Ben, and let's see if he's able to do something to stave off this sneak attack. He's going to take a read on it right quick just to see how it reads, and it's our first time, so every time is a great time. He's going to ponder what he wants to do here for a moment or two, and shuffle some mana around. Corey's going to explain something with his hands that I can't quite make out because I'm not sitting there. And Ben is also showing some sort of agreements or disagreements on his side. So with an engineer in Ben's hand, he could try and go for a quick kill or try and stave off a sneak attack with using the engineer to go get a bridge, and then the bridge it comes into play off of the welder at any time that he wants it to. And Corey draws a ponder. He's going to go ahead and fetch out a blue source and see if he can muster up something off the top of his library to try and find some action. Top 3 cards. There's an Atraxa. 1 turn too late, unfortunately, with double Brainstorm, which is pretty good as well. But let's see how he wants to play this out, and we'll go from there. So I imagine he's going to take the Atraxa, no doubt about it, because he gets to look at the top 10 cards of his library and then pick Sorcery Instant, Enchantment, Artifact, Creature, Land, Planeswalker off of it. You know, very fair Magic card. Glad it was printed into these formats where it could be cheated into play. This and then Vintage with Oath definitely makes the game more exciting and riveting for people who are on the other side of it. So we're going to activation here of the sneak attack, and we're going to see some action from Ben of his own. He's going to activate that water, getting rid of that Lotus Petal, bringing that bridge into play, and now the Atraxa comes into play. We'll get to take a peek at the top 10 cards, and we'll get to choose some. We knew about the 2 Brainstorms, Show and Tell, Spell Pierce, Atraxa, Flooded Strand, Atraxa, Volcanic, Ponder, and a Show and Tell again. So let's see what he takes here. Definitely the Ponders and the Brainstorms, a land and an Atraxa will be his choices. Alright, he took a Flooded Strand for his land, and let's see what else he's got for us here. He's going to float 2 mana and play a Volcanic Island, and it looks like we're going to fire off that Ponder right now. I probably would have fired off the Brainstorm first so I could use the Ponder to shuffle afterwards, but he's the pro at blue decks and I am not, so we'll let that go to him. So, having edited this video, you're going to be in for a great treat on how this game is actually played out. But I've chosen to speed it up 4x the speed because it is going to take a little longer for him to find the kill or work through a kill here. With the bridge in play, he's not able to actually attack, so he's going to have to go on a different path. And that path is going to be him utilizing Emrakuls and the Archon of Cruelty to come in and out of the battlefield and reshuffle back into the library, and then use the Atraxas to keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper. So there was an Omni there as well, which is nice. If he could have shown the Omni out, that would make everything a little bit easier, because then he can just flourish through everything. So there's the Atraxa, finds the Emrakul as well. He's going to be able to play the Emrakul, let the Emrakul go to the graveyard, and then shuffle everything back into the library. So I'm going to stop talking now and let you just watch how Corey masterfully does this, and I'll see you in game number 2.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Welcome back to game number 2. Ben is on the play this time. 5 minutes left in the match. Corey is up a game. Corey has kept 7. Ben being on the play after Corey masterfully worked through his deck to get those Archon of Cruelty triggers to kill Ben. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did watching it. And we'll see if Corey's able to close this game out a little bit faster in game 2. Grindstone's in play on Ben's side. Let's see if he's able to find a painter and get this show on the road. Ancient Tomb, good to go. There looks like to be a Disruptor Flute in hand, and it's going to be a Brainstorm from Corey. Interestingly enough, well, I think Corey has the Meltdown in his hand already. And okay, so it's a good thing that Ben didn't play that painter last turn, otherwise he would have gotten completely blown out by that Meltdown that's in Corey's hand. Disruptor Flute comes into play. It names Sneak Attack, and off to the races we go. So if Ben were able to find, well, it still wouldn't really matter. And the reason why it wouldn't matter in terms of him milling him is because the Emeralds are still in the deck, and he doesn't have a way to exile the graveyard yet. So we do have a painter coming into play. See if it's going to resolve from Corey's side. I imagine with that Meltdown in hand, it will easily resolve. And he's going to be able to cast a Meltdown for 2, taking care of the painter, the Disruptor Flute, and the Grindstone. Now, Ben does have a Red Blast in hand. He could blast that Meltdown right then. But Corey also looks like he has a Red Blast in hand as well, ready for it. Sacrifice of the Lotus Petal. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. I think he was going to go to cast a cantrip, and then he decides not to, leaves the Lotus Petal in the graveyard, and passes the turn. So it's a very interesting, or maybe he was going to sacrifice it and do Surgical Extraction, which I think probably would have been a little bit better, which makes more sense if he would have waited for the draw. Of course, Ben rips an Ensnaring Bridge off the top of the library, where if he would have hit that Painter or Grindstone during Ben's turn, would have caused the deck to be shuffled, and that particular card would not have been pulled off the top. Granted, there's not a Sneak Attack in hand. We are in turns now, and Corey's going to have to find a Sneak Attack as well as a... he does have the creature, so he needs to find a Sneak Attack, which doesn't guarantee a win either way. There's a Pyroblast that he knows about in hand, so the Show and Tell doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Doesn't look like he has a fetch land to shuffle the top of his library either, so he is Brainstorm locked from here. Got some mana, and we've got another Meltdown for 3, so the bridge is cleared as well now. But again, we are Brainstorm locked. Ben goes to turn 2, Corey will go to turn 3, Ben 4. Corey will see a fresh one. 3 on, well, 3. Now, Corey won't see a fresh card off the top of his library, unfortunately. So the 2 cards that are up there are his forever for this match. So if it isn't a Sneak Attack with an Emrakul and something else, this game looks like it's going to go to turns and time. And Corey will win the match, but he'll win at 1-0. So it was a good match nonetheless. Saga off the top. Gentlemen are just playing it out for the camera, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody watching this, and we'll see if Corey's able to fire off this Show and Tell right into this Pyroblast and just get the game over with. All right, 2 damage to Corey, and we've got a Pyroblast on the Show and Tell and a Handshake, and thanks for watching.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.